So I just saw Blackout Outdoors EDC video where Crick shows off like all the stuff he keeps in his pockets on the day-to-day. And I figured I did an EDC, like a pocket dump on Instagram like last year or something. But I haven't done one since. So I'm going to do a video about it. And I have two different EDCs. One is like my urban day-to-day, and then the other is like for when I'm in the bush. I'll start with the urban. I've got my wallet, of course. It's a simple leather wallet by Fossil, I think. I don't know. It's working well. It's not, you know, I didn't make it myself the way Crick did. Oh, wow, it's sort of starting to get a little, you know, starting to get a little run down, but I've had it for a few years now. So obviously a wallet. And this, by the way, is urban, but I also keep it in the bush just in case I get injured or something. It's good to have like your ID and everything. So there's that. You know, always got to have a blade, right? In my case, it's a Leatherman. It's a discontinued model. I've had it for a long time. It's a Leatherman Fuse. Can you see that? Yeah. It's pretty good. It's not like one of those one-handed deals, though. I think I'd prefer one of the, you know, where you just, and out comes. Because every now and again, I'm doing something where I kind of wish I could one-hand, like pliers or the knife. You know, I have to. Well, that needs to be sharpened, or at least stropped. Anyway, it's got a bunch of tools. There's a couple of little flathead screwdrivers in there. There's a knife. There's that cross screwdriver. What's it called? Phillips, I think. Phillips? Yeah, the square one's a Robertson, right? See? There you go. There's some scissors. Just a couple of things. It's not a huge, like, you know, it's not like 30 tools in one or anything like that. This is the nylon sheath it came in. Gotta have a cell phone. In the past 3 months, I've gone from having a 5S to a 5 and now a 4 something, just because, I don't know, I've gone through a bunch of phones lately. Sorry about that wind, guys. I hope it's not messing up the sound too much. Some lip balm. I picked this up in Albany. It's from LL Bean. All natural, made in Maine. Is lip balm. And of course, unlike Crick, I keep my keys in my pocket. I don't like to have anything like, you know, jingling around on my belt as I walk, so I throw them in my pocket. Sometimes, you know, with cell phone and keys and like Leatherman, my pockets do get a little bulky, so I think Crick's onto something there. But anyway, that's like my urban EDC. When I'm in the bush, the Leatherman's with me just to have. The phone is with me. I keep the key, like if I'm hunting, you know, that's the key to my the trigger lock on my rifle. So, you know, sometimes I've got the keys with me. I try not to take them into the bush too much though, because you don't want to lose them. So yeah, some of those things come to the bush, some of them don't. If I'm in the bush, you guys have all seen by this point my, you know, my Jeb Campbell. I don't know if I've ever shown you guys the maker's mark on this. Is that showing up? Yeah. It's getting a little sort of bit of a patina going on. I'm gonna probably go after that with some sandpaper or something. You know, the sheath is holding up pretty well. This knife is holding up pretty well. I beat the hell out of it, you know. I wet formed it at one point and everything, and you know, it's keeping a pretty good. Wow. Okay, it's all stained, but you know, it keeps a good edge. It sharpens nicely. It's not in focus. There we go. I haven't broken it. The scales are still in good condition. I think I made a good purchase, and it was my first custom knife, so I like it. This is my fire kit. It's got a ferro rod, right? Sometimes I'll have that the homemade one that I showed you guys in a previous video. Sometimes I'll have that in a pocket if I don't want to like have this on my belt. I prefer to have fewer things on my belt. Like I would throw this in my bag and have the other one in my pocket, just, you know, just in case. For the same reason, I like to have this in my pocket. This is some birch shavings. Birch shavings, and also, this might show me as, this is where my, I'm not a prepper, but this is prepper E. See this quarter round? Carry a couple of pieces of that, just in case I really can't find anything dry. Then I'll feather stick this up, or like, you know, take them down into really, really small pieces to start a fire with. On top of all that, this may seem weird, but it all becomes clear. I will either carry my little Wetterlings, or, and let's face it, more often these days, my small forest axe, my Gränsfors small forest axe. The reason I'm listing both of these as EDC instead of, sorry, I just stepped right off camera there. The reason I'm listing both those axes as EDC rather than something I keep in my bag is because of this belt loop that I think I've shown you guys, that Ron Swanson at Fox Company Prepping made for me, right? So I'll have that on my belt with the axe in it. So I mean, it's on my person, so I call that EDC, you know. Sometimes what I do is I carry this one, and I keep this one in my backpack, just sort of like as a backup in case I lose the other one or something. And I'll do the same on the knife front, right? I'll have this one on my belt, and in my bag I'll have like that Mora I showed you guys in a previous video. First aid. You know, I realized, Crick, watching your video, that I don't carry Band-Aids even, you know? Like, my first aid kit that I've shown in a previous video, that stays in my bag. So I'm rethinking what my EDC should be a little bit, because it's true, if I lose my bag, which people almost never do, but just in case, then there goes my first aid. So, I don't know. I really don't like to have too many things weighing me down. Like, I like to have everything in my bag so that I can just take it off and then I don't have a bunch of things on me. So I don't know what the secret is going to be, but I'm going to think about it a lot. Oh, I'm getting rained on now, so all right, that's all she wrote. Thanks for watching, guys.